Something extraordinary is happening across America's heartland tonight, something the mainstream media is desperately trying to ignore. While they focus on courtroom drama and celebrity gossip, a seismic economic shift is underway that threatens the entire globalist establishment. Key manufacturing centers in states like Pennsylvania and Michigan are witnessing developments not seen in decades. Meanwhile, unelected officials are staging what one senator is calling an unprecedented insurrection against the will of 77 million Americans. What's really happening with our trade relationship with China? Who's fighting to keep your family's wealth overseas? And why are diesel prices suddenly changing direction? The answers reveal everything, so don't go anywhere because we've got a Noble Gold Investments alert. Gold has surged 46%, unprecedented in less than a year, doubling the gains of NASDAQ and S&P 500. But this is not just another rally. Global reserves are shifting, exposing cracks in the monetary system. Investors are losing confidence in paper gold and demanding physical metal, creating a massive gap between gold owed and gold available. Now, this is not about how institutions broke another system. It's about how you can profit from it. And right now, Noble Gold Investments has a limited supply of investment-grade gold bars and coins. They are available. Now, banks are scrambling to fulfill their obligations, pushing gold prices higher, but you can profit. Smart investors are already moving into physical gold. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy for you to do the same. And right now, when you make a qualified investment, Noble Gold will add a free 10th ounce gold coin to your order. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit nextnewsgold.com. It's linked below, and turn their panic into your profit at nextnewsgold.com. That's the number on the screen, 877-646-5347. And when you call, tell them Gary Franchi sent you. So the mainstream media is not going to tell you about Donald Trump's master plan to restore American greatness while the elites scramble to maintain control. What's really happening with the tariffs and China and Russia? Let's dive in, shall we? Unelected judges are staging what Senator Mike Lee calls judicial insurrection against your vote. Trump's duty to deport criminals being blocked by activist courts. Here is Glenn Beck speaking with Donald Trump. Check this out.
It was some people, the last administration, they didn't want to check anybody's ID or ask any questions on the way in. COVID, in the height of COVID. We don't even check them for that.
Don't check them for anything.
Bring them in. Now they all seem to want to check them on the way out.
Yep.
And the judges are, I think it was Senator Mike Lee that said this is judicial insurrection.
Yeah, I think you could say that.
I'm not a big fan of Andrew Jackson. I know you are. Andrew Jackson took care of this constitutionally.
Right.
Would you consider taking care of this some way or another with the judges in a constitutional way?
Well, I hope we don't have that problem. And I hope we don't have to get into it. But I will say we have millions of people in this country right now that are criminals. And you see how fast we're getting them out. And we're going to get them out even faster. But when you have to get out and do court cases for individual people, and you would have, in theory, millions of court cases, you know what that means. If you had one court case, it takes forever. Millions of court cases? They're really saying you're not allowed to do what I was elected to do. I was elected for a very big part of it was the border and getting people out, because I said, and the stats reveal it, when you look at Tren de Aragua, when you look at MS-13, when you look at these gangs and just really bad criminals coming in, you know, we have many murderers, people that killed, 50% of which killed more than one person. They put them into our country through open borders. And now we have to go to court to get them out. I don't think the people of our country are going to stand for it.
And continuing here, no unilateral reduction on tariffs against China. America First policy has been confirmed as Donald Trump stands strong against Beijing. Establishment economists are panicking, though, as we're finally demanding fair trade. Time to connect the dots. Let's check in with the press secretary at the White House.
A let me be clear. There will be no unilateral reduction in tariffs against China. The president has made it clear China needs to make a deal with the United States of America, and we are optimistic that will happen. And when that continues, it'll be up to the president what the tariff rate on China will be. But we certainly need to see a reduction in tariffs and non-monetary tariff barriers from China as well. And we also need to continue seeing these companies abroad return their manufacturing to the United States of America so we can shore up these critical supply chains.
Okay.
Well, the experts on CNN wring their hands about tariffs. Real Americans in Macomb County and Rochester know the truth that Trump is reshoring American jobs. Check this out. Harrison Fields, he's a White House communications director there on Fox News.
People in Main Street. Well, I think overall the American people are giving the president his due time to get in here. It's only about 4 months to go in and do what they elected him to do, which is eventually tax cuts. We are continuing to do deregulation, and tariffs are playing one role. But if you talk to people in Main Street, you talk Macomb County, you talk Rochester, New York, these are people that are very supportive because he is reshoring jobs back into the country and prioritizing the American worker and not the worker of Vietnam. So these are all great things. And I'll just remind the American people, the poll that was conducted on November 5th, which happened to be Election Day, we had 77 million Americans vote for Trump policy. So it's only about 4 months. Give us some time. The economy is looking very strong. Look at inflation numbers. Look at jobs numbers. We are just getting started. Well, I think
And we have some breaking news to report just in. The FBI have now arrested a New Mexico Judge Juan Cano and his wife who were caught harboring an illegal Tren de Aragua gang member in their home. Listen. Judge Juan Cano, if you recall, he was flaunting the fact that he would be harboring these illegals in his home, and now it looks like chickens have come home to roost, and now he is being arrested. Finally, we are seeing the law being applied to officials who claim to be upholding the law. And this is a very huge development. We're going to continue to keep track of that as the news continues to develop. But that just in a few minutes ago, sent to me from our own White House correspondent, Tom McCullough. Now, getting back into the thread here, while the previous administration let thousands die in Ukraine, Trump is negotiating peace. Trump has set a deadline now.
One piece.
And on Russia, do you still believe that Putin is serious about peace given the events overnight in Ukraine? And if that bombing doesn't end, are you considering new sanctions on Russia?
So we are thinking that very strongly that they both want peace, but they have to get to the table. We're waiting a long time. They have to get them to the table, and I think we're going to get peace. We want to save 5,000 young people. I used to say 2,500. I now say 5,000. We have, Mr. Prime Minister, we have about 5,000 young people a week that are dying in that ridiculous war. And, I started out because I didn't like all the money that we were paying, and then I realized how many people were dying. And that's by far the more important element right now. I'm saying we can save thousands of people. And I don't like that it takes long at all, but I think they both want to make peace. I do believe so. There's a lot of hatred there. There's a lot of very bad blood, a lot of distrust. But I think I hope we're going to get there for the sake of a lot of young people that are dying.
Mr. President, do you have a deadline for when the party?
I have my own deadline. And we want it to be fast. And the Prime Minister is helping us. He wants it to be fast too. And I think everybody in this, at this time in NATO, they want to see this thing happen. So we have a deadline, and after that, we're going to have a very much different attitude. But I think it has a very good chance of getting done.
The fake news said there were no trade talks with China, and Donald Trump exposing their lies today. And the global financial elite are terrified.
Can you clarify with whom the U.S. is speaking with China? They're saying it's fake news that trade talks are happening.
Well, they had a meeting this morning, so I can't tell you. It doesn't matter who they is. We may reveal it later, but they had meetings this morning, and we've been meeting with China. And so I think you have, Jeff, as usual, I think you have your reporting wrong. Thank you.
I think you have your reporting wrong. Made in America is back, baby. Small businesses in Pennsylvania celebrating as manufacturing returns. This is the American dream returning.
President Trump.
As tariff negotiations continue at the White House, members of the Trump administration are in Dauphin County to celebrate new fair trade policies.
Under President Trump's leadership, manufacturing is coming back to America. It's coming back to Pennsylvania.
Kelly Loeffler with the Small Business Administration took a tour of Plows Precision Manufacturing as part of the rollout of the Made in America initiative. Loeffler touted President Trump's tariffs and plans to cut $100 billion in regulations as a way to bolster small businesses.
It's going to create opportunities and growth across this country, including for manufacturers like this who believe in Made America, who believe in hiring in America.
On top of tariffs, co-owner David Smith believes the Trump administration's effort to expand capital investment will help him purchase more equipment for the manufacturer.
It needs to be an equal playing field for all. What's better than that? I mean, that's what this country's built on.
Equal playing field is coming back. Even Chris Cuomo admits it. Democrats' cases against Trump were crap and only brought to slow down Trump. Their witch hunts have failed, though. Chris Cuomo, unbelievable.
No chance.
I can't believe this is coming from Chris Cuomo.
I believe that what the Democrats did to Donald Trump, which I covered, which was the job, to impeach a guy when you know you have no chance of getting him removed, okay? Zero chance. That was a political indulgence to do nothing but distract from the interests of the people, and you were creating an impression of a standard that you never had any intention of holding up yourself. And the Democrats have proven the problem with their actions. Those New York cases, Charlie, were crap. And they only brought them to try to slow down Trump. We both know it. And
I'm so proud of Chris Cuomo. Look at him with his silver play button behind him, displayed proudly. 100,000 subscribers, Chris. Congratulations. Meanwhile, we have been at 2.25 million and more. Keep going, Chris. Keep going.
What they did with Kamala Harris, is proof that they don't give a shit about any higher standard. They didn't even allow for democratic process in their own stupid little club where they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, Chris Cuomo. How ironic. Listening to now. Follow the money, though. Diesel prices are dropping under Trump leadership. You know what that means? That means that prices are going to start going down across the board. Listen.
Grocery prices down. Trump came in immediately and looked to how do we start having more energy supply and how do we bring prices down? Does that ultimately do what we need to bring grocery prices down?
Ultimately, yes. If you have more manufacturing in the United States, the price of diesel fuel, because the food industry depends on diesel fuel, whether it's running the factories or warehouses or the transportation to retail facilities, it's all diesel. So as the price of diesel fuel goes down, the cost associated with the food prices goes down.
Like I said, the world's watching as America rises again. Even Norway's prime minister praising Trump, saying, "I salute Trump for taking very important initiatives. America is respected once more. Our enemies fear us. Our allies trust us. This is only the beginning." And let's see. I think we have something else here from the National Economic Council chairman 3 hours ago, Kevin Hassett. Let's check in with him on the tariff point as well.
We all do. Well, in the end, President Trump recognizes, as we all do, that we're going to get a lot of tariff revenue, and it's going to help us balance the budget. And if people want to avoid the tariffs, then if they onshore production in the U.S., then we'll get tax revenue from that. And so this is a very fiscally sound move that we're making. And again, we're bringing everybody to the table. The way I like to think about it is, imagine the relationships that we had, the trading relationships and international relationships that we had 6 months ago, and then imagine what they're going to look like a year from now. And of course they're going to be radically better for us and better for them, better for the American worker, better for real wages, for economic growth, and so on. And so of course markets should be celebrating these moves.
So there you have it. While the establishment economists wring their hands about tariffs, real Americans in places like Macomb County and Rochester seeing the tangible results, jobs coming home, manufacturing reviving, in China finally meeting us as equals at the table. Not just about economics, it's about national sovereignty. For decades, our leaders surrendered our industrial capacity to foreign powers, hollowing out the American heartland and enriching a global elite, but that era is over. So here's what I want to know. Do you believe America can once again be the manufacturing powerhouse it once was, or have we surrendered too much of our capacity to ever fully recover? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out the Next News merch shop. We've got some fresh patriotic gear dropping all the time, perfect for showing your support for real America First journalism.